Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Sunday the 19th of October 2025. In today's Mill news, obviously it's Sunday today, not a lot going on, so we're going to mostly be doing stats, but I do want to talk about this, which is very ever so tangentially Millwall related, and that's the news of this. This is from skysports.com, but it's been all over everywhere. Everyone has an opinion on this situation. Maccabi Tel Aviv. Why have Israeli clubs fans been banned from Aston Villa Europa League game? Question mark. Key questions answered. So if you did not know, there's a Europa League game in November, and they're starting to now get to the process of organising the tickets, and Aston Villa have taken the decision to refuse to sell tickets to Maccabi Tel Aviv fans. And we are going to talk about this because this could have an effect on Millwall's situation in the future. Because of the decision, why they said they were not doing it. The decision to ban travelling fans from Aston Villa's home game against Maccabi Tel Aviv has caused a strong reaction. How was the decision taken? What happened in the game between Maccabi Tel Aviv and Ajax cited by police, and what now? So what's happened? Maccabi Tel Aviv fans have been banned from attending the Europa League game against Aston Villa at Villa Park on Thursday, November 6th due to safety concerns. The decision is based on concerns from West Midlands Police about its ability to deal with potential protests relating to the war between Israel and Gaza. Well, the war is in a ceasefire at the moment, is it not? West Midlands Police said the game had been classified as high risk, having carried out what they described as a thorough assessment. And a statement said, this decision is based on current intelligence and previous incidents, including violent clashes and hate crime offences that occurred during a 2024 Europa League match between Ajax and Maccabi Tel Aviv in Amsterdam. Based on our professional judgment, we believe this measure will help mitigate risks to public safety. They have 8 crime offences in Amsterdam today. I thought it was just in this shithole country being run by fucking idiots that we do this. Oh, that's nice to know. It's a global affair. Who made the decision? Aston Villa's statement says the decision follows an instruction. They were instructed from Birmingham Safety Advisory Group based on the advice of West Midlands Police. Safety advisory groups are responsible for issuing safety certificates for matches. However, according to the Health and Safety Executive Government website, safety advisory groups are non-statutory bodies and so do not have legal powers or responsibilities and are not empowered to approve or prohibit events from taking place. So how can they do that? How are they? Why do they exist then? How are they able to do this? The website adds, event organisers and others involved in the running of an event retain the principal legal duties for ensuring public safety. Aha, so you're going to tell people what they should and shouldn't do, but you're not going to take responsibility if anything should go wrong. Aha, okay. So you get to boss people around and you don't face any consequences. The UK Football Policing Unit were also involved in advising on the decision. The UK Football Policing Unit supported West Midlands Police, this is a quote, in gaining access to the full details of the previous incidents in Amsterdam via the European Policing Network, so they had the relevant information available to them, they said in a statement. Following this, the Home Office were briefed last week by the UK Football Policing Unit about the potential issues and options that the Safety Advisory Group may take, including restrictions on visiting fans. So they're saying the government, they told the government, the Home Office is the government. So the Home Office were briefed, they were told. Who are the Safety Advisory Group? Birmingham Safety Advisory Group. So it's one for Birmingham. So is it the same Safety Advisory Group for Aston Villa and Birmingham City? It's chaired by Birmingham City Council, Head of Resilience, and made up of representatives of the local authority, emergency services and event organisers. The Health and Safety Executive Government website says purpose of an SAG is to provide a forum for discussing and advising on public safety at an event. It adds the SAG should advise the government, should advise the event organizer about public safety matters that they think need further consideration, explaining their reasons. It is the event organizer's responsibility to take any appropriate action. Again, passing the buck. So they make the decision, but then they won't take responsibility for that decision. Safety advisory groups are held for events presenting a significant public safety risk in terms of the numbers and profile of people attending, or the nature of the event activity, and or the challenge of the environment. So what happened at the game between Ajax and Maccabi Tel Aviv? The Europa League game between Ajax and Maccabi Tel Aviv, cited by the West Midlands Police, took place on November the 7th, 2024, so over a year ago. Violent clashes between pro-Palestinian demonstrators and the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans erupted before the game, which led to more than 60 arrests, 4 men being handed short prison sentence and another given a community service order. Who got arrested? 60. Who was arrested? 60 arrests. You're kind of intimating that it's the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans, and they're the ones being blamed. But who got arrested? We know that the leftists are violent. We do know that. 5 people were taken to hospital as riots broke out in several areas of the Dutch capital. And Amsterdam police and prosecutors said anti-Semitic rioters actively sought out Israeli supporters to attack and assault them. Footage emerged online which showed fans pulling down a Palestinian flag in central Amsterdam, and anti-Arab chants could be heard. So again, which way is it? You're saying that the Israeli fans were hunted, but then you're saying, oh, they tore down a Palestinian flag and they were chanting anti-Arab songs. So you're not really telling us what happened there. A report from Amsterdam Mayor's office said the violence stemmed from a toxic combination of anti-Semitism, hooliganism, and anger about the war between Israel and Gaza and other conflicts in the Middle East. We don't have to worry about that now. There's a ceasefire. Donald Trump's got you a ceasefire, so maybe we should say thank you very much, Mr. Donald Trump. Maccabi Tel Aviv's next European away game against Besiktas on November 28th was moved to Debrecen in Hungary by UEFA after Turkish authorities decided not to stage it in Turkey. Hungarian authorities decided to play the game behind closed doors. So again, and this is the thing. Now, if within the EU, obviously you have freedom of movement, but Turkey aren't in the EU and Israel aren't in the EU. So that gives Turkey the right to say, to not hand out visas. I don't know what kind of visas they have to hand out, sporting visas or whatever. Visiting visas or whatever. But they decided, nope, we're not having that. You're not coming here. So there you go. So. And that's sad for the Besiktas fans, because they probably wanted to watch their team play against an Israeli team and probably beat them. What has been the key reaction to the decision? West Midlands Police said it supports the decision to prohibit away supporters from attending. But then the West Midlands Police and Crime Commissioner Simon Foster said that the Safety Advisory Group in West Midlands Police should review the decision. The feigning Labour Prime Minister Keir Starmer criticised the decision and said the role of the police is to ensure all football fans can enjoy the game. Leader of the failed opposition, Kemi Badenoch, who exactly described the decision as a national disgrace. Aston Villa say they are in continuous dialogue with Maccabi Tel Aviv and their local authorities. So again, they're trying to get something happening. The Jewish Leadership Council, which works to protect British Jews, said it is perverse that away fans should be banned from a football match because West Midlands Police can't guarantee their safety. And then Ayub Khan, independent MP for Birmingham Perry Bar, welcomed the news that Maccabi Tel Aviv fans will not be permitted to attend the game. Yes, but they don't have a quote. Interesting enough, basically he was saying, he wasn't saying it on safety grounds. He was saying it on ideological grounds, as in get these people the F out of here because of who they are, as in Jews, which is not really what I'm want to go into, but you can see. So again, and we've been banned before. We have been banned, and then I think the clubs agreed between themselves after the Birmingham riot. We were banned from, was it three places? One of them was Wolves, one was Man City, and I think this was when were we in the Championship about the time? This is around about the Setanta Sports era, was it not? Because I do remember I was sitting in the North Stand because I got tickets to go there because it was a bit. They decided to have the home fans in the away section, which was a bit unusual. So I thought, you know what, let's do that. And it felt kind of weird because I think people turned up and they didn't realise that we were home fans, and they were kind of like gesturing towards us. So, hello, did you not hear the news? We are home fans. So yeah, that was kind of weird. But is there any precedent for bans? Yes, the decision to ban away fans from attending UEFA game based on safety concerns is a rarity, but it has happened before. Last season, French authorities ordered PSV Eindhoven not to take supporters to their Champions League game against Paris Saint-Germain. PSG said there was a total travel ban for their supporters to and from Paris, and added that the decision came totally unexpected. French police had cited past disturbances with supporters, including an incident against RC Lens in 2023, according to PSV's statement. Last season, Legia Warsaw fans were denied entry to Villa Park for their UEFA Conference League fixture after 4 police were injured during clashes with the Polish club fans. Yeah, but I believe they were literally there outside. The match was delayed, and Villa said the decision to stop the Ligia fans from entering the ground was made due to safety concerns. Again, so it looks like West Midlands Police can't do their job properly because you saw the thing with the Ligia fans. But why am I bringing this up? So, they're trying to cite the thing that happened in Amsterdam. But the thing that happened in Amsterdam is that the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans were attacked. They were attacked and they stood up for themselves. Because, you have a right, or you used to have a right to defend yourself when you're physically attacked. It's the universal constant, universal law. You have the right to defend yourself. And they did that, and it was kind of spun in a way. They're the troublemakers, and we know how that goes, as Millwall fans. That happens to us quite a lot. We have a reputation, and a lot of wallies out there want to engage, and then when we give it back, we're the bad guys. It's us. We're the problem. So this decision that they're undergoing, that they're taking, the effect that it can have on Millwall is, every time there's an FA Cup draw or League Cup draw, you ask people, what game do you want? What do you want? What do you want in the draw? And they always say West Ham away. Why do they say West Ham away? Because we haven't played West Ham at their new ground. And everyone knows that their new ground is indefensible. It is a bowl stadium. It's 360 degrees. It's in a park, in a public park, next to a massive shopping centre. And there are many, many different ways in. And you know that it's going to be an exciting affair. So what, in the thing with the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans, why I'm bringing that up, is that that this kind of thing is going to happen when we do eventually get drawn away to West Ham. When we get drawn away to West Ham. West Ham's new stadium. This is from footballgroundguide.com. They've got the third largest stadium in England in the Premier League. Third largest stadium in the Premier League, 62,500. So what are the rules when we get drawn away to them? What are the ticket rules? This is from a site called footballcollective.org.uk. Who decides how many tickets away fans are allocated? Now, it's in the FA Cup, it's supposed to be 15%. But 15% of 62,500 is 9,375. Do you believe that we will be given 9,375 tickets if we get drawn away to West Ham in the FA Cup? Absolutely fucking not. We will not. What they will do, because obviously the loyalty system they have now, they can click a few buttons, like how many loyalty points, how many people have 500 loyalty points, and they type the thing in, and it will tell them, oh, we've got 4,000 people with 500 loyalty points. So then they can retroactively, okay, this is how many tickets you're going to get, because this is how many people, this is how many people with loyalty points can get these tickets, and that's it kind of narrows it down. It stops it going to members. It stops it going out to other people. So this, who decides how many tickets away teams are allocated? With the capacity of Premier League stadiums ranging from as low as 12,000 to as high as 75,000, there is very little way in the uniformity when it comes to ticketing. Some clubs have larger fan bases than others, of course, so how is the away team allocated? Decided. Once upon a time, the home team effectively had control over how many tickets were sold to away fans, but there is generally now some kind of hard and fast rules on how this quantity is decided, the 10% rule. So this is regarding league games. So you just go down. There are, however, some outliers to the rule where police and other authorities have concerns over the behaviours of supporters. Here we go. They can advise that the away ticket allocation is reduced, as has been the case for Liverpool fans when their sides take on Manchester City at their Etihad Stadium. As for the FA Cup, the rules for away ticket allocation see the numbers rise to 15% of the stadium's capacity. However, this is again subject to the prior approval of the Safety Advisory Group, the mysterious panel who nobody knows who their names are. Isn't that clever? And they don't have any legal powers or responsibility, but when they say something needs to be done, then it gets done. Isn't that strange? Isn't that very strange? Ultimately, this SAG group can lower the allocation if they believe there could be safety issues. Everton were handed tickets amounting to just 9% of the Emirates Stadium capacity when they took on Arsenal in the competition, and if you thought away day ticket allocations were stingy in English football, just wait until you find out what they are in UEFA's Europa League and Conference Leagues, just 5% of the stadium capacity. That said, there is at least a cap on ticket prices in the UEFA of €25. And then they've got other stuff about the prices and stuff. So it's very interesting. If you wanted to read that, you can read that. So yeah, just wanted to show. I think if you do want to go to an away game at West Ham United, if we do get drawn against them, I would advise you now to open up an account on a different email than the one you use at Millwall. Get a burner email, and at some point in the future, buy the cheapest ticket that you can find, maybe for a Women's Super League game or something, at the stadium, so that you have a purchase history. And then buy a ticket and go in the home end, because if we do get drawn away to them, you're going to be looking at maybe they'll try and get away with as few tickets as possible. Maybe 2,000, 3,000, the club will bitch and moan, and they'll up it to 4,000, and the club can say, look, if we give us 4,000, it's going to go to all these people because of the loyalty point system that we're using, etc., etc. So I would say do that, but make sure you have, I would say, set up a standalone email just for this, that you just only use for doing that, and that will get you in. Now, while we're here, I also found this article on this website called footballcollective.org.uk that I never knew existed before today. I just found it today. They've got a load of stories and stuff there, so it's very interesting. Home advantage. We know that we've been struggling at home this season, past couple of seasons really. So what the fuck is going on? Well, let's have a look. The stats, yes, it's Stats Sunday, so the stats that suggest home advantage barely exists in English football anymore. We're into the year 2025, And yet there's still the opportunity for history to be made and records to be shattered. One such milestone occurred across Tuesday, September the 30th, and Wednesday, October the 1st, so a couple of weeks ago, in the English Championship. Across the 12 games played, none of them ended in a home win. Ouch. It was the first time in history that a single game week in the second tier had failed to have at least one home team coming out on top. And here's the thing here. Opta analysts, no home wins in the 4 championship matches tonight either. So obviously that was... this was the 30th. And then on the 1st, they posted this. And our game against Coventry was one of them as well. Not a single home win. What's more, across 26 English fixtures on the 2 dates mentioned, 12 in the Championship, 2 in League One and 12 in the National League, only Carlisle United were able to win in front of their own supporters to a remarkable home win ratio of just 3.8%. 3.8%. 26 fixtures, there was only one home win. This could be one of those anomalies you get in football sometimes. After it was September the 27th, 2025, that 8 injury time goals were scored in 7 Premier League fixtures, the most in a single day in the Premier League's history. But it got us thinking all the same, is home advantage less of a factor in English football now than it has been for decades? What the stats say on home advantage in English football? Lies, damn lies, and statistics. Data can be manipulated and reshaped to fit a certain narrative, which is why Mark Twain's famous quote above still retains much of its context. But it's hard to argue with the stats which tell us that the home win rate during the First Division season of 1895-96 was 64.6%. By 2015-16, this had dropped to 41% in the Premier League, and this remained at 41% during the Premier League's 24-25 term. It's therefore impossible to question the logic that home teams have less of an advantage today than they did more than a century ago. Even in the modern context, the numbers are illuminating. Here's the Premier League home win ratio since 2004-05 at 5-year intervals. So it goes from every 5 years, 46.5, 50.8, 45.7, 47.6, and 41%. 41% last season. Although the numbers jump around a bit, it's still easy to draw the conclusion that home advantage has become less of a phenomenon in the Premier League over the past 2 decades. A similar theme, albeit on a smaller scale, has been witnessed in the English Championship. 47.5% win rate in 2004-05, and 20 years later, last season, 46%. While in League One, around 43% of games ended in a home victory in both of those seasons. So the same. In League Two, meanwhile, a home win ratio of 45.1% 20 years ago had fallen to 42% as of last season. So in the past 20 years, home advantage has lessened in 3 of English football's top 4 leagues, while staying roughly the same in the other. Therefore, our stats suggest that our original idea that playing on home soil is not the edge it once was, which is correct. But what happened during the pandemic? None of us really want to remember the COVID pandemic, but it was interesting in a football context, with football games mostly being played behind closed doors. It created an intriguing scenario where there would be less of a home advantage with games behind closed doors. One notable study, which researched nearly 5,000 games worldwide played during the pandemic without fans, found that the home teams both scored fewer goals and therefore won significantly lower number of points than in non-pandemic seasons. In real terms, the impact was that home teams won around 3% fewer games with no fans present than they did with supporters in the stands. But the numbers were more considerable in the Premier League, with away wins up by a whopping 26% during the pandemic era. It was also notable that the number of yellow and red cards issued to away teams during COVID fell when no fans were present, suggesting that match officials are, even subconsciously, affected by bias when vociferous home supporters are in their ears. Which leaves us to an interesting paradox to muse. If home advantage is weakening in English football, but home fans do have a positive impact, then what the fuck is going on? Yeah. Home advantage is going down, but home advantage disappeared when there weren't any fans in the stand. The fandemic. It would be fair anecdotally to suggest some kind of a link between ticket prices in football and the levels of passion shown by fans. Typically, but not always, we would surmise that the loudest groups of fans in football are working class males aged 16 to 40, and that's the same group that will be hurt the most when ticket prices are increased. For context, average ticket prices at Premier League clubs have increased by an inflation-smashing 800% since 1990, when the Premier League was the humble first division. The takeaway point: working class, low-income fans are being priced out of watching their teams. Perhaps we've entered an era in which home supporters are less vocal than in previous years, which in turn has helped to make away games less hostile, and with less pressure placed upon, maybe match officials are becoming more neutral when making those fine line 50-50 style decisions. The scourge of ticket resale sites surely isn't helping. Although fans should in theory resell their tickets at face value, many don't. Instead, black market operators sell them at eye-wateringly inflated rates. The result? More tourist fans, especially at iconic venues like Anfield and Old Trafford, who are more interested in filming games for their social media channels than actively engaging in them vocally as a supporter. Away days are somewhat easier for the visiting side to adjust to anyway, with generic modern stadia, first-class pitches, and smoother travel conditions all contributing to the ease with which away teams can adapt to their surroundings. But without partisan home fans, it's a little wonder that home wins in English football are becoming less commonplace. I think they've hit the nail on the head here. With the cost of the tickets going up. I was looking at bringing a mate along for the Coventry game, and walk-up price was 42 quid for a ticket. 42 quid. It broke the 40 quid barrier. Like, it's above 30s. It's up to 42. And again, we do have the tourists down at the Den, but they are spending their money, so the club's getting money, which they're putting on the pitch. Fair enough, but it's affecting the atmosphere, certainly. Not only that, but the vociferous working class males, aged 16 to 40. Not only are they being priced out, they're being, what would you say? They're being basically modified. They're being, especially at the Den. Anything you do, any little thing you do, oh, that's it, you're banned, or all this kind of nonsense. Things that aren't even that bad. You've seen the messages every week. Oh, don't do this, don't do that. Like, they've made it illegal to do certain things. Like, you can't. Tragedy chanting is now a criminal offence. But are they going to arrest all the Liverpool fans that chant about the Munich air crash? Well, of course they're not. But they're going to arrest the Millwall fan who brings a Turkish flag to a Leeds game. So, yeah, there you go, Nanny state. The nanny state has nannied the football grounds. So now the home advantage is gone. Yeah. Which is ironic, because we played a team yesterday who were unbeaten at home, and we ended up beating them. So, there you go. So, yeah, let's get on to that. See, being a Sunday, stats, here we go. This is from whoscored.com. Here you go, it's the match report. Millwall stole the ball often from the opposition, were effective creating goal scoring opportunities from counter-attacks, were strong at finishing. We were aggressive, lost possession often, we gave away a lot of free kicks around the box, we committed a high number of individual errors. We played with width, we attacked down the right hand side and we favoured long balls. If you look on the right hand side, you can see the top performers in rating, total shots, tackles and dribbles. And yeah, that just goes to show how under the cosh we were. Look at the shots that QPR had. But then you look at the ratings and Jay Cooper 7.9, above Femi Aziz 7.8, Billy Mitchell 7.5 and Crammer 7.3. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. It's a bit of a surprise that Jay Cooper's up there. I guess he was just solid all game. He didn't really do... I didn't see him do anything outstanding, so I don't know why he's got such a high score. But there you go. So here we go. Attempts on goal. 20 by QPR, 5 by Millwall, 12 to 1 open play, 8 to 2 set piece, 0 to 2 counter attack. We got 2 goals from 5 shots, which is a whopping 40% conversion rate. That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I have never seen it that high. That is insane. They got 1 goal from 20 shots. That's a 5% conversion rate. Here you can see we were mostly going down the right hand side. That was Femi Aziz, but they were also mostly going down their right hand side, which is interesting. So nobody told them about Ryan Leonard being a liability. Okay. Shot directions, shot zones, action zones. So yeah, only 23% of the game was in the home third, in QPR's third. It felt like that. The ball wasn't sticking up there. Player positions. Yeah, what does that look like? It's kind of skewed because obviously Luongo went off. So it is kind of skewed. But I think it is. It's 4-2-3-1. Okay. So now let's get on to this, which is the match centre from whoscored.com. Here are the match events. First up, 15 minutes substitution. And then yellow card for us, goal, yellow card, goal. All in the first half. They make the changes first on the 54th minute. They're not, not messing around. They're 2-0 down. They come out in the first half, they're trying to dive and all this, ref didn't fall for it. So they have to make changes. Then a couple more yellow cards, more changes by them. And then the change by us, very late in my opinion, very late. Could have been done a bit earlier. I think that's of a mind for the Stoke game, the Leicester game coming up. I think the players that were left on are probably going to be on the bench on Tuesday. Maybe Femiz won't. And Ivanovic won't, but maybe Ballo will. I doubt he might start against Stoke, I don't know. But, yeah, there you go. And then they score. And then we have a nervous end to the game as there's 8 minutes out of injury time added on. And they go to the corner in the 92nd minute, even though there's still 6 minutes left. And they're in the corner trying to waste time. But whatever. All's well that ends well. So here's the ratings. Man of the match, Jake Cooper, 7.9. And, yeah, followed by Ziz. So who's got 7? Ivanovic to 7. Smallbone, Mitchell, Crammer. All on 7s. And then the lowest is Crocombe with 6.1. So total shots, 20-5. Wow. You can see most of the shots came from the subs bench. 5 and 3 and 1. So yeah, that Frey. Why they started with that Frey? Because he's a big unit, and they thought it was going to be rough and tumble game. But yeah, don't match us up like that. It's not going to work for you. You need to have tricky players that will go against the grain against our defenders. But for us, you can see Aziz with 2, Ivanovic with 1, Smallbone with 1, Crammer with 1. Possession 57 to 42. And the player on the ball most for us was Billy Mitchell, 5.2% of the match time, closely followed by the goalkeeper. Oh, he had to pick up a lot of those shots, didn't he? Pass success percentage 76 to 64. Interesting. Leonard only 45. Again, he gave the ball away for their goal. He gave the ball away for their breakaway. Dribbles 2 and 2. Aerials 139 to 23. Jimmy Dunn with 11, aerials 1. Cooper with 5, Sturge with 3. Tackles 9 to 24. Yes. We had a lot of tackling to do. Everyone getting involved except for Ivanovic and Krogan. Interestingly, the attacking players doing more tackling than the defensive players. Aziz with 4 tackles, Smallbone with 3 and Ballo with 2. Which is more than Cooper and Sturge. Corners 8 to 3. Yep. These are the players who won those corners. Dispossessed 14 to 6. So there you go. Let's move on to this. And let's have a look to see. So Queen's Park Rangers had 20 shots. How many were actually on target? 3. They had 3 shots on target. Now obviously we've come to learn that actually means that the shot is on the goal. It's because if it's towards the goal and it gets blocked, that counts as a blocked shot. So it's not on target, even though it is on target. I think shots on target literally mean it's on the goal, and the keeper has to deal with it. So yeah, that's incredibly insane. They had 20 shots and only 3 were on target. Whereas for Millwall, we had 5 shots and all 5 were on target. Wow. Talk about efficiency. How about that? 5 shots on target, 2 goals, 3 points. Bosh. Here we go. Jay Cooper 7.87. Femi is 7.81. He only played 74 minutes. Maybe if he had played longer, he would have got a higher score, but he'd already scored, so the deal would have been done. The game was won, the deal was done. Rest him for the games coming up. Billy Mitchell 7.53, Tristan Crammer 7.31, Mihailo Ivanovic 7.12, 18 touches of the ball, 1 goal, 1 shot on target, and then it goes down and down and down, and as you would expect, the subs are all at the bottom, except for Casper Denor, who came on in the 14th minute and played, 60 minutes? He got a rating of 6.87. Max Crocombe 6.11, 46 touches of the ball. I think because he's kicking 27.8% passing accuracy, which is quite low for a keeper. It's normally around the 30s for a keeper that kicks it long. Obviously, we only have 1 up front, and we got 1 up front that can't play 1 up front. What else are we going to do? How many times we're offside? We usually get offside a load of times, 2 times. Doughty and Femi is defensive. Who did all the stuff defensively? Tackles, as we've already seen. It was the attacking players that were more tackling. Femi is with 4, Smallwell with 3, Casper Denor with 3, Leonard with 2, Crammer with 2, Luongo with 2. On the pitch for 14 minutes, he had 2 tackles. Interceptions, Jay Cooper with 4, Billy Mitchell with 2, Smallbone 1, Crammer 1, Cundall 1. I think we found out why Jake Cooper got a high score. 19 clearances. 19 clearances. Yikes. It was bit like the Alamo, wasn't it? We were up against it. Crammer with 15. 19 clearances from Jake Cooper, 15 from Crammer, 7 from Mitchell, 6 from Sturge, 5 from Smallbone, 4 from Ryan Leonard. Yikes. That's a lot of clearances. Passing accuracy. But we'll get that on the other site, fbref.com. And here we go, we get the XG. The XG was 1.9 for Queen's Park Rangers and 1.6 for Millwall. So that game should have been 2-1 to them, or maybe a 2-2 draw, which is what I predicted, but we ended up winning 2-1. So let's go down. There's the match events again. So possession 59-41, passing accuracy 70-61. They had 509 passes, we had 360. Shots on target 3 of 20, which is 15%. 5 of 5, which is 100%. Wow. Saves, their keeper made 3 of 5, and ours made 2 of 3. So 66% save rate for Max Crocombe in what I believe is his first game at the second division of English football. Fouls 8-13, corners 8-3, crosses 38-12, touches of the ball 637-526, tackles 9-24, interceptions 4-9, aerials 137-23, clearances 27-66. Yo! Wow! Offsides 3-2, goal kicks 9-12, throw-ins 31-13. Long balls 94-89. So there's the clearances. 66 clearances. They had 31 throw-ins. So I think most of them just kick it out. Yeah, we weren't messing around, were we, really? Just kicking it out. So here we go. This is the Millwall squad and their stats. So shot creating actions, basically the player that's most attacking. No surprise, it's Femi Aziz and Will Smallbone, but you've also got Massimo Luongo there, who's involved in 2 shot creating actions. Overall, there's only 9 shot creating actions in total. What else should we look at? Passing. Keeper's passing. Where's the keeper? So 39 attempted, 13 completed. They've given it as 33.3. They've given him higher. Total distance 439 yards of passing. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it was he's kicking to Ivanovic, and Ivanovic is losing out to Jimmy Dunn all the time. And we can check that out later when we go to the aerials won and lost, because the other one just gives you aerials won. This one gives you aerials won and lost. So if you look at Max Crocombe, you look at his long shots, his long passing. 31 attempted, 6 completed. That 6 found a Millwall player. That's 19.4%. But his short and medium is pretty decent. So that's what dragged it down. Only playing 1 up front. But it's the thing, like if you kick it, maybe you kick it over the top for Aziz in the corner for Aziz to run onto. Does that count as completed? I don't know. They don't tell us how it works. Anything stand out? Macaulay Langstaff, he's short passing. 1 of 3, only 33.3%. Like when you come on at the end of the game, we need to keep the ball. It's not really good, is it? Like you need to be doing better than that, really. And again, Negley, 50% on the short passing, and 0% on his long pass. Smallbone, yeah, that doesn't look too good, does it? That's so as well for him. Okay. Pass types. Defensive actions, tackles and whatnot. Blocks. Alright. Clearances. You can see here, look, Jake Cooper 19. Interceptions 4. Tackles and interceptions 5. Clearances 19. Errors. They've given Max Crocombe 1 error. What was that on? I don't know. But yeah, Cooper and Crammer with, what's that, 34 clearances between them. Possession. Take-ons. Femias is attempted, succeeded. 3 of 2. And then Negley tried to dribble past someone. Nope. Billy Mitchell tried to dribble past someone. Nope. Carries of the ball and total distance, progressive distance. Carries, distance, progressive distance. Carries of the ball. Here we go. Ivanovic. 9 carries of the ball for 10 yards. So any time he got on the ball, he went 1 yard with it, average. And 7 of that was towards the opponent's goal line. So he got on the ball, he went a yard towards the opponent's goal line, and then lost the ball, got tackled. Like, man, Jesus. And you compare that. Look, he played 79 minutes. Langstaff, we just criticised his passing, but he got on the ball twice, 2 carries of the ball for 8 yards, which is nearly the same as Ivanovic did in the 79 minutes that he was in. He can't play one up front. He cannot play one up front. And I'm saying that he scored. He did score that goal. But, I mean, damn, bro. His general play up front is just non-existent. Like, if you're a centre-back and you're playing 2 centre-backs, you're playing against him, you're basically on holiday. Femias is 25 carries for 166 yards. 116 of that was forwards. And why not? Cool. Okay, you get the idea. Aerial duels won and lost. So here we go. Ivanovic 1-2, lost 6. So that's 25% win rate. Again, not the best. Ballo 2-4. Langstaff was 1-1, so 50%. Aziz was 0-4. Negley was 0-2. But we go down to Cooper 5-2. Crammer was 2-4. Okay. So there you go. Let's have a look at Max Crocombe. How did he do? Shots on target against 3, goals against 1, saves 2, save percentage 66.7%, post shot XG 1.2 goals. Launched attempt 29, completed 5, complete percentage of 17.2. Yeah, he's long passing towards Ivanovic. He threw the ball out 3 times. 63% of his passes were long. Average length was 47.1. His goal kicks were all long. Average length 69.8 yards. Crosses. The opponent crossed into our area 31 times. Yeeks. He came out and stopped 2 of them. That's a stop percentage of 6.5%. His average distance from his goal line was 7.2 yards. And now we get to the list of shots, which when I saw this earlier kind of shocked me. Because I thought I didn't think it was that bad in the second half. We had like 2 corners in the second half. And we were up in their end, in the corners trying to time waste in about the 91st minute. But we didn't have a single shot apparently in the second half. So this is the first half. Obviously that shot straight away that Crocombe did well with. And then we got Crammer with a header that got saved because it was on target. Smallbone shot that got saved. Had just the fingertips over the bar. And then right at the end of the half, 36 minutes, Femi Aziz obviously went through. And then had the shot. The keeper saved it, and then he followed up, and that was the goal. So there's that, and then there's that. And then Ivanovic getting in his head on that cross from... who crossed it in? Was it? I saw it was Femi Aziz, wasn't it? They're saying it was Ryan Leonard and then Will Smallburn. So Will Smallburn passed it to Ryan Leonard and Ryan Leonard crossed it for Ivanovic. I'm pretty sure it's Femi Aziz. Maybe I'm going mad. Or was that the first one that he missed? That might have been the first one that he missed. So then we have half time, but they don't even have a shot until the 69th minute. So they come out the second half. What's that, like 25 minutes? 25 minutes. No one has a shot. Not us, not them. And this is after they've made the changes, because this is the guy who came off the bench. And, you know, they bring on... They go more attacking because they're 2-0 down. But we don't have a single shot in that second half. And they eventually score in the 85th minute. And you're thinking, oh, how's it going to go? And there's a block shot, off target. And then you've got a defender doing a bicycle kick. So, okay, fair enough. Do that all day long. So, yeah, there you go. That's it. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.